Hey guys, Jeanette Vilda. So this was a pretty fun project for me. This is a design team project for Luise Heinzl using her vintage coffee collection journal kit. I kind of really wanted to be more, I don't know, artsy. Actually, I just kind of wanted to play, if you will, with the papers and try some sewing and just do some fun things. So I had this book. I collect tea cards and cigarette cards. So once upon a time, when you bought cigarettes, you could get little cards just like you would get with tea. And they would provide you with these books where you could collect all your little cards. So I had a bunch of my cigarette cards in this book, but wanted to have them in another place, so that freed up this album. And I've been wanting to use this cover to make a book, and the vintage coffee set just looked great with this. And vintage coffee is not cigarette pictures, but I just couldn't bring myself to cover that up. I mean, everything about this cover is just awesome. Even the little spots that are all over it just have history to it. So anyways, the front and the back cover are from the book, and then I took out the spine. It had basically disintegrated anyways, and created my own. And the pages have been sewn into the spine, and it's put together with book tape. And then I just covered over the book tape with a piece of, this is hand crocheted lace, and a couple buttons. I used a lot of buttons in this book. And I didn't do anything again to the cover on the back, so it's as is. And then again, I didn't do anything because you can't see it too well, but there is some pencil writing on the inside cover. And then on the back cover is some of the stamping from the printing company. So my guess is the name of the person who once owned this, and it's from the early 1900s, so it has gone through some age, but I didn't want to cover any of the flavor, the history that came with this cover, so didn't do anything to it. So, and as you can see, this is not I would say it's not a usable junk journal. It's more that it's not, the pages I made all pockets. So there's not really a usable page per se, it's all pockets. And then in the pockets are cards that can then be used. I made sure each one of them can be used for journaling or pictures. So you could say it's a book of pockets. There's a lot of this hand crocheted lace and trim. Also did add a bunch of fabrics, ribbons, sari silk, some washi tape throughout. This is some handmade paper, and the imagery that is in the paper have this gorgeous kind of green into it, but I also felt that it had this kind of a purple feel. So I kind of pulled out the purple and the green and used that throughout the book, which I had like 4 pieces of paper with purple. I love purple, but I don't, for some reason, I do not own a lot of purple. So I did love making this because it really stretched. I just don't work with purple for some reason. So I did really enjoyed making this. So I printed out the papers, full-sized and also 2 a page. And then some of them, especially that had the images with the couples on it, I printed sometimes 4 to a page. So I could get a whole bunch of different sizes. And by doing that, you can really stretch, if you will, your papers. It's a lot of fun. And then I did a lot of sewing. I'm not the world's best sewer, but I did so much sewing. I think by the time I was done, I was actually sewing in a somewhat straight line. And my sewing machine makes these wonderful little stitches, so I had a lot of fun playing with that as well. And buttons. Like I said, I kind of pulled out my buttons, and since I never worked purple, I didn't have enough purple, and I got some more buttons. So I now have tons of buttons, and I really enjoyed playing with them. So like I said, every page is like a pocket, and I played around trying to come up with all kinds of different ways of doing pockets, and then journal cards. And I got some sticker sheets in my stash that have these really great, as you can see, kind of silver, it was all different teapots and everything that you would use for like a tea party, if you will. And then another sheet of stickers I have is these vellum tapes that have little quotes, or not quotes, or definitions. Oops. Yeah, that you can't see that, can you? Definitions. So this one is teacup, and so I used those. So besides the paper, those stickers are the only thing that I added to this. And there's a lot of scrapbook paper, some cardstock, and then the showcase, of course, is the wonderful paper. On some of the design pages, there are some of these little tags that have, like, this is remembering. There's another couple I've pulled those and cut those out and used them as nice little tags. So this is page 1, and there's only, let's see, there's 3 signatures. So it's a small little book, but there's a lot going on. For the binding, each page, what I did was I individually built each page so that I could sew through the page, and then took 2 pages, put them together, and then sewed around the perimeter all the way around, and that put 2 pages together. And then once I had 2 pages and 2 pages, I took some Tyvek and put that, so held them together so that I could see that they would nicely open and close, and then put the Tyvek down and glued that down so that became the spine between the 2 pages. And then over that, just put a piece of fabric just for pretties to pretty it up. And then you can see sewn here at the top and the bottom just to add a little bit more stability to it. And because I would have liked to have gone down the spine, but my sewing machine wouldn't fit to go down the spine. And then those are sewn, as you can see, just a normal pamphlet stitch into the spine of the book. So that's how I did the binding. Really simple. So here, let me take out all the different tags and we can look at the page. So these are some scrapbook papers. And then this is one of the pages from the design papers. Some more of the hand crocheted lace. And again, this was taken off of one of the, I think this is actually the top of this page, and just made it into a little header. And then this is, I always like to use all of my scraps. So this is one of the pieces that got torn off. And then I have some music on vellum. So that's in the back there, and another one of those stickers. That fits into that pocket. And then another one of these gorgeous pictures that are on the design papers. And again, that's just sewn onto some scrapbook paper. And the final one is just a tag. A long time ago, I had done a project, and I had made a whole bunch of pages where I printed out these lines and printed them out so that they would be kind of fuzzy and vintagey looking. And didn't use all of them, so don't waste your scraps. So I kept all of those, and they worked perfectly in here. I think it went really nice with the papers. And of course, some washi tape and another one of the stickers. So that goes in there. And I love this page with the menu. And again, so this is from a different page. And like I said, some of the pages have these cute little tags that are on them. So I just cut them out and used them as headers and footers for my pages. And then this pocket is another one of these gorgeous images. And bunches of sari silk, ribbon. I think this is a scarf. Excuse me. Lots of little things. And so again, another one of the design pages. I think my sewing machine didn't like this page too much, so I tried to do some fancy sewing, but it kind of chucked it up a bit. But it still looks kind of cool actually. And then made a little pile, I don't know what you call it, of just some different fabrics with a button, a little pocket, and again that same paper with a nice long tag using one of the images taken out of one of the design papers. And then here we have a belly band, and it's just some scrapbook paper made into a little belly band, just some more of the. With this one, I wanted to sew through the crocheted lace, so I backed it with a piece of colored vellum so that it just gave it a little stability so that when I glued it on, you know, it didn't flop. So did that, and then we've got another. So again, this is a full-size page. So this is one of these pages, but printed 4 to a page. So that's a full-size page. Makes a cute little pocket. And then again, that's I think even the other side of this one. I just loved all these little couples. And so there's a pocket there. And then here we have another one of these couples for a little journal card into the belly band. And I loved this image, so I had to give a whole page to this gorgeous, is that a moth? And just backed, I think this is a card, an old card. And a little collaging, just on, and then, so, some journaling. And then here we have a little guy just using some buttons, and I just popped them up a bit so I could make a opening. And here we have a few journal cards. Again, one of the pages printed 4 to a page. That's a full page. A little piece of scrapbook paper, some of the vellum. This is washi tape and some vellum and one of the stickers. And then a piece of another piece of scrapbook paper with one of the stickers and one of the definition stickers. Those all tuck in there, and plenty of room for even more. And just some simple twine holding that together, which likes to be contrary. And then this is my favorite. I adore this image. It's just gorgeous. And so here I turned it into 2 pockets. So there's a pocket down here and a pocket up here. So we have a little journal card. That goes in the top. And another little journal card. And again, I loved playing with the stitching on my sewing machine. And here we have just kind of ripped out one of the images and some scrapbook paper and stuff. And this is, I believe this was from the top of that page, and I just cut it out to make it a nice little header. And then another one of the journaling cards. And then here we have again 2 pockets, and you've seen these pages again. Just printed them all different sizes so I could play with them a lot. I have a lot of fun. Another of the hand crocheted lace with some buttons. And this again, this is some scrapbook paper that I have, and then a little piece of fabric. and then a nice long card. Just some cardstock. And then here is another belly band, and I made another little fabric cluster that, just in case it slid through, kind of stops the card from going all the way through. And then from one of the pages had all these great little butterflies, so I cut them out and popped them up on some cardstock just to give them a little weight. Like that, and then this little card, just some scrapbook paper. Just like I said, bunch of pockets. And then the last page, that same butterfly, but this was from one of the different sizes of pages, so it's the same butterfly. Oh, actually, I think it's the same size. But I just cut out the butterfly and popped him up, added a little bit of fabric, and this is that menu page. And then we've got a little pocket. And then there is another one of the pages printed to 4 to a page, and I think this was a half page, so 2 to a page, and you get this size. So you can see they're the same one, exact same page, but when you print them different sizes, you can't even tell it's from the same page unless, you know, specifically pointed out. So lots of ways to get a lot of stuff out of your papers. And then, I don't know if you can see, so you can see there's some stamping from the publisher of the book. So, like I said, didn't want to cover those little pieces up. They're just perfect for the book. So that is my little vintage coffee cigarette pictures. Hope you enjoyed. I loved making this. Just a joy to come up with the little things, and I just love doing all the sewing and the collaging. This was I don't do too much collaging, so I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you enjoyed the book. So please like and subscribe. Go check out Luise Heinzl, and she's got some absolutely gorgeous collections, including this beautiful vintage coffee. So see you later. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.